A very good afternoon, everyone. And today for Tea and Tales, I have somebody very interesting for you, along with some of my colleagues, which is there. One of my belief in life has been that if you're not staying in a hostel, you have not really understood how to lead a very, very good life. One. Second, if you have not done a startup, then you have not really understood how to build up a corporate life and lead that. So with these different facets of it, you'll be surprised to know that even legacy companies like an insurance company were a startup once. And Bajaj Allianz today we may have 11 crore customers, but there's a time when we celebrated getting 1 lakh customers, and that time our CEO was Sam Ghosh. And so I thought before I start and talk about all this, let's talk about startup Bajaj Allianz was under the leadership of Sam Ghosh because he was a founding CEO for us. And before I get to him, I have 2-3 memories which are very, very strong in my mind. Let me speak about it before I start asking some questions and we get into some kind of conversation. The first was I quit a government job to join Brazilians. So you can imagine, very secure pension. If I die, my wife gets a job, kind of stuff. All that was there. And I go and join Brazilians, general insurance company. Sam is CEO. He makes a presentation. And the last slide of his presentation was, even my best friend gets sacked if he does not perform. And I was thinking, holy shit, man, what have I got into? Job security till I'm alive, dead, my wife gets a job, I get a pension. I quit that job, come here, and my CEO shows me a slide in which, the last slide was, I hope you remember that, Sam, said that
I do.
my best friend gets sacked, does not perform. Okay, now I got this right. Okay, I'm going to get sacked. So I asked him, what is performance? Obviously, you understand it. Your job is stake. So he says it's simple. Yeah, Tapan, this is a laptop you get. This is a mobile phone. Yeah, we had mobile in 2001. So if you guys saw youngsters, and then he said, look here, you go back to your state, get a business center, recruit people, start business, and 1 month's time, start pumping in business. 1 month's time, yeah. Then I was thinking, okay, how many people do I recruit? That's simple. As much target you take, it's 1 crore per person. Now, some of you are watching it today, and when I as CEO tell you to take 1 crore per person, you guys don't tell back to me, bullshit, doesn't happen like that. In my time, I didn't tell him. He says 1 crore per person, as much as you take target, yeah, it doesn't matter. Today, a crore looks easy, but those days, the entire industry was 10 crores. You imagine. Sorry, about 10,000 crores. So that means 1 crore was tough, huh? So, which meant that I'd get about 1.5% off roll was allowed, and no place to no place to set up office, and business center. I had no clue what is he talking about. Yeah, so I thought, okay, I'll figure out later. Need not upset him more. And he said, okay, all the best, Tapan, and see you. Yeah, that's it. So with 3 things in mind, get sacked if I don't perform. 2, find a business center, start business in 1 month's time, and 1 mobile, 1 laptop. I left, and reached home. Next day, when leaving for office, I had nowhere to go because there's no office. Huh? So my wife asked me, what happened? I said, I do not know. Where will I go? She said, my mother told me not to marry you. She said, he's not the right kind of guy. He's a pretty stupid kind of guy. And today you have proven me right. That was my starting as a startup, which is there. So, Sam, do you remember the incidents like this, the way you put that on and get people moving? And one more thing I never forget about Sam. Every week, I get a call from him. Only 2 words. All is well? No? All good? If I said yes, the phone would disconnect. If I would say no, and if I would tell him what was the problem, in 2 days' time, the problem would resolve, whatever it may be. And I never forgotten all this which is there. So over to you. Some of your experiences, Sam, setting up a startup. I used to work from 8 in the morning till 2 in the night, guys. I remember Sam would come from Munich, and there would be a board meeting. He'll land, let's say, 2 or 3 in the night. Just go home, take a shower, and be back at 4. Yeah, that is the kind of startup means startup. No office, garages, open your own shutter, start your own generator, and we had to do business, and otherwise it's gone. Yeah, so it was the real start of the way you hear it today, like in those days. So I want to hear from you, Sam, your experiences and how put it on.
So Tapan, I don't know whether you came in the first to our office in G Plaza on the 3rd floor, where we had 5 desks or 7 desks, and all of us used to sit in that open area. I don't know whether you came there. There used to be only 5-6 of us at that time. Kamesh, Praveen, then Krishnamurthy joined us. Obviously, Carsten Grombek was one of the big guys there in those days. Because Carsten got us the first policy. Do you remember that, Tapan? The first.
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah.
I think those were the first policies that we sold. Yeah.
And we got that policy in the first week, if you remember. And we were
Yes.
thrilled that bloody getting 1 crore policy. That's why that 1 crore target was there. You know, if Carsten can go and get a 1 crore policy, it's easy to go and get 1 crore per person per month.
Okay, now I know the
Anyway,
background. So you told me
yeah,
earlier, Carsten was still that I've taken it out on him, yeah? That 1 crore per person came in.
yeah. But however, after that, if you remember corporate business, we didn't get any. Because, as you
Yeah.
know, corporate business, it takes maybe 12 months to try and work your way to get some business out of a corporate client. But that time we thought after getting that business, it was so easy to get business. And then once we didn't get any business, that's the time really when we all started panicking. So what do we do now? So then we went for tie-ups. And I don't know whether Tapan, you remember the Maruti tie-up. That was, I think,
Yes.
one of maybe the best ones for Bajaj Allianz.
Yeah.
That time we had Mr. Jagdish Khattar, because Kamesh had introduced me to their head of insurance, who obviously still is there. But
Yeah.
then I went and met Mr. Khattar at that time. And poor, as you know, he passed away a couple of days back. So he told me that, boss, I'll give it to you for 3 months. Exclusivity, all India. So I said, take it. We didn't have, and if you remember, no systems, no processes, no branches across India, and no loss adjusters, no surveyors, no one there. And so we take the business. And somehow I think Philip and Kamesh, actually Philip under Kamesh's guidelines, somehow set up that process. And nowadays it's so easy to do. That time we had that uploading the policy document uploading the vehicle registration number onto the system and then issuing the policy online. So I think we were the first ones to do that. So I still
Exactly.
remember at the end of that, Maruti Jagdish called me after the 3 months. He said, bloody damn good job you guys did. You can have it for another 6, for the whole year. And I can give you 3 more years. So then I went back to the board, and both Rahul Bajaj and Heinz Tolberg said, no way are you going to do any more Maruti business. You'll be a 100% motor company. But it was the biggest mistake we made. Because if you can you imagine having 100% of Maruti for 3-4 years? But anyway, so that was some of the fun times. But we had real great times with all the startup team, and everyone is hands-on. So I think one of the big lessons which we learned, just like what you did in even in Baroda, I still remember the branch, that start from scratch, build up the whole team, get everyone on board. And I always feel that we recruited the best team because they're all New India guys, all your old colleagues.
I think that was definitely there. And I don't forget your Maruti deal simply because the policy had my mobile number. So at 2 in the night, at 2 in the night, I get a call that my car has been in an accident. And I just go to sleep and I get up and say, okay, what happened? And the rule was to pick up all calls. You remember, we could not pick up any call, whatever time it be. Yeah? So 2 in the night, I pick up the call and ask, okay, what happened? They said, my car has been in an accident. I said, okay, where? But I do not know, under a banyan tree and it's raining outside. Can you help me? What to do next now and how to help somebody at 2 in the night. But I think customer obsession was something, again, which you really ingrained very well in the company. So I remember, you're very obsessed. Any particular customer complaint also, you really take it to the conclusion and you would be complete after that. Do you remember 1 lakh customers celebration? You got a t-shirt, 1 lakh customers.
Yeah. No? Correct. I remember that. Yeah. But I think one of the biggest memories, Tapan, if you remember, was that first year we became number 1. And we didn't expect to become number 1, Bajaj Allianz at that time. Because we thought Tata will beat us, everyone else will beat us, we'll be maybe number 4, number 5. And because of the Maruti deal, I think we became number 1. So real celebrations. Of course, after that, ICSA started picking up their gear after Sandeep Bhakti joined.
No, I think the lesson was the kind of boldness that you had to take things head on was something which I always admired all these years also. And I've seen you in different profiles and different roles. I think you just took things head on. I remember when you joined Life also, the amount of branches you opened, I asked you once, how many branches do you have? He said, I do not know. I've lost count up, and every day I'm opening 2 or 3, and the way you took up the top position. So I think that was something very, very unique. And for a startup, I think that culture of taking things head on, going ahead and then fixing things as it moves and moving at hyper speed and agility is what you really taught us at that point of time. Simon.
I always. So Tapan, just to interrupt, do you remember the time once I told you that you're putting on too much weight? You better reduce others. I don't know if you remember that.
So when I joined Bajaj, I was 85. In 1 year's time, the fear made me reach 105. So then, I was not taking any time on myself. I remember you once told me you're putting on too much weight and next time I should see you. And then again I became 85, in about 7 months' time. So that used to be a target. That used to be a target, how to bring down weight and how to go about it. I think, but
No.
it was
So
amazing.
one of the KPIs for Tapan was to reduce his weight. Remember?
I think everything, but it was always. I think one thing which I remember, the kind of energy and the travel that you used to do, Sam, and not only that, I think all of us we used to work about 18 hours a day. Work means nearly every day, including weekends. But we never felt tired. We were always super excited and no, we were always super
Correct.
winning mode. I've never seen such high excitement. Maybe startups have that. So, what's your view on that?
Correct.
Because you have seen so many different companies in different places also. Do you feel all startups have that kind of no energy level which is there the way we started with Allianz?
Yeah, I think, see, obviously Bajaj Allianz, I feel, was different in that it was I think the team was also fantastic. To be fair, we had a fantastic team of people, and everyone is committed to the same goal, that we have to do well. There's that energy is there. But most startups, you'll find that they have this, we have to do something big. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, some achieve it, some don't. So I think that was one. But you remember, Tapan, once how we moved you around all over India? That
That was
also I
again.
felt.
No, you had promised me that if you do so much, I'll make you head for this region. Or so I did
Correct.
that pretty fast. And then the call came, you go to Hyderabad. I said, why the hell is breach of
Yeah,
trust?
I
No,
remember that.
Hyderabad actually promoted here only. They said, no, no, no. If you want a promotion, go to Hyderabad. No?
Yes. And then you came back to Delhi, is it? After Hyderabad, somewhere like that. Yeah.
Yeah, then Delhi, and in between you sent me to China for Guangzhou, setting retail business there. I think
Yeah.
lot of fun was there. Delhi again was interesting. Then you said,
Yeah.
no, go to Delhi, turn it around for us. But that is what gave me exposure now, Sam. I think all these
Yeah.
different geographies, channels, setting it up, going ahead, working with leaders like you, that gave me huge exposure, to get things done. But it used to be great, great fun. I think I'd never
Yeah.
forget.
I remember. Yeah. And especially the team was very close knit. If you remember, we used to have parties
Yeah,
I think whenever we came to Pune, we used to have parties always in the
yeah,
evenings. That
yeah.
was like a,
It was like a family. Well, all said and done,
yeah.
I think we stuck together, fought together, never gave up. I think that was again a big lesson. Whatever may the circumstances be, we may have been pushed to the deepest shit as possible, but I think we never gave up. We always had to bounce back and say, okay, we win it and get it here, and that is
Yeah.
how it kept on happening.
And I think also in a startup culture, if you remember, people like KM, Krishnamurthy, and and Swaraj, they had to do everything themselves. If you remember, at one time, KM like
KM,
the hands-on
as,
man. Any product,
as,
KM.
as sales guy, we used to call KM Karomat. Anything right to him, the underwriter would say no. After 4 no's, he would say yes. No, but if you look at most of the early leaders, they wanted to become CEOs of different companies. KM took on Future
Correct.
General, and Swaraj again,
Yeah.
Magma after Bajaj.
Correct.
So I think those early leaders became the leaders for the industry, overall, and then you moved on,
Yeah.
set up Reliance, and then Bharti also. So I think one great moment of pride for us at Bajaj has been that we created so many leaders for the industry. Now Kamish is doing his Digit, which is there. So
Correct.
we created so many brilliant leaders for the industry, which I think is a huge benchmark that got created. To your point, which you said, no.
No, I think I agree totally. See, if you look at other than ICICI, no other general insurance companies produce so many leaders. And ICICI also, in general, other than in all other areas, but in general insurance, Bajaj has always had the maximum number of CEOs coming out of it. And I think if you look at even one of your marketing head, he set up his own ex-marketing head. He set up his own lending company.
Yes,
Like,
no,
phenomenal.
even
Yeah,
startups there. So I think
yeah,
the entrepreneurship, the startup culture, that remained as a bug for all of us. Right? Even in the company also, if you look at it, the kind of innovation we kept on bringing was because of that bug that we had to keep on doing something different. Every year we had to bring up something different and do that.
correct, correct.
So
And I think the other thing which we made was everyone's equal. If you remember
yeah,
the culture that it's only meritocracy.
yeah, that I tell people. I've told people. See, somebody asked me that no, in 10 years' time you became the MD and CEO, and now I've been close to over 9.5 years close to MD and CEO for this company. Then they asked me how did it happen. I said I would give full credit to Sam Ghosh. I never had to ask him for promotion or for increments or this thing. Performance. Well, on my own, I would be surprised. A call would come and say, okay, go here, now you're promoted here, or you become this, and now you handle this, you become this. Never I had to ask or worry about, no, what would I get? What would my increment be? What would my designation be? I think that is something which you always put on a very high priority. And no, I think nothing. I don't think I ever oiled you all my life. I never remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I didn't like that oiling bit. Anyone oiled, unfortunately. Yeah. But that's also startup type mentality, no? Startup mentality is that everyone has to work hard. There's no no sucking up to anyone and surviving. Because now in a big corporation like yours, you can have people who can take it easy and get away with it, because it's so big that it doesn't matter anymore. So,
but now, if I fast forward today, when you look at Allianz from the outside, what is your view of the company? From 1 lakh celebration to close to 11 crore customers now. If you look at a partnership, 240 plus banks, awesome. You have been watching, from outside now. So the company that you set up as a founding CEO, when you watch from outside, what are your reactions? How do you see the company? I think that is something which is very intriguing for all of us.
No. So obviously extremely proud, to be fair. And I'll be fair to you, Tapan, that the way you've taken the company forward in the last 9-10 years has been phenomenal. That you kept it going because see, it's always easy to take a company to the number 1, number 2 position, but keeping it there is the game. And ultimately that means you have to be innovative all the time. And if you look at compare the other one, you had the Life company also. Now Life company also we took it to number 1 position, but it has to remain there, and only the next CEO can take it and keep it going, because you have to continue doing something new. And I think that's the pride of it, saying that Bajaj Allianz. I always say that look at Bajaj Allianz. It's still there, and it's still number 2, and it's a strong number 2. It's not like ICICI may be doing a lot of things which they can afford to do, being part of a banking system, but you are doing it without having a bank in your fold. So I think that is a sense of real pride and joy, that to see that the company does well and it continues to do well, and everyone talks well about it. See, today also, in those days we had that it was technically known as a technical insurance company. It still is. Excellence of service, it still has, with the scale you've created. So I think that credit obviously goes to you and your team currently, that you've been able to maintain everything the way and to grow it. Because as soon as companies grow very big, they become complacent also. If you look at like global. Sorry, go on.
No, I think it's just that culture startup. We have not let it go. For us, it's still a startup. We still look at it like that every day. We keep on challenging ourselves. So those initial cultures that still remains. I think as team members join us, they get imbibe that, and they also start becoming a part of it. I think that's what keeps Allianz going. The culture of the company, the way people look at it, and the passion for customers, to be innovative, to be different, and to have great fun at the end of the day. I think that is what you taught us at the very early on. I think we just maintain and do that. With you, Sam, I can talk forever. Like, that's the problem. But we have to have limited time. So in your honor, we have 3 in Sundarbans. So so that for this occasion of yours. So may I request for the certificate we put up for Sam and thanks. Any last word you want to say, Sam, before I get some?
I wish you guys all the best. Congratulations for 20 years, and keep the company going. I think you have to make sure that you remain in the top 2 always. And obviously, customer service is the only way, and innovation is the only way forward.
And Sam,
and good luck to you, Tapan. Hope everything goes well for you guys.
Thank you, Sam. I just want to add one thing. 2 is only in terms of our top line in the private, and this year we overtook Oriental also. So we moved up our PSU.
Fantastic! Congratulations. Well done.
And in operating profits, we always been number 1, Sam.
That I know. Technically, always been strong.
In terms of our grievance ratio, the lowest, settlement ratio, always the best. I think whatever was set as a foundation, we have ensured that we continue doing that. Thank you very much, Sam. I think it's such a pleasure to have you here, and our conversation, as it can last forever. So,
thank you so much.
We just planted a tree for you in Sundarbans.
Thank you. Much honored. Thank you very much. And all the best, Tapan. Good luck to you and the team. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, now after Sam, who was our founding CEO, I have 2 amazing gentlemen. I think Aditya, Sashi, and Murthy Naidu. Now, all 3 of them are the part of the initial founding team members. Aditya in Delhi, Shashi in Hyderabad. Murthy was fluctuating between Hyderabad and Vizag in those days. I think he was shuttling sometime Vizag, sometime Hyderabad. So let's hear from them. Heard the founding CEO statement about the company and the way he was looking at things. So I'll start with, let's say, Sashi. Sashi, you joined early on, and you were part of Hyderabad team. And I mentioned that Sam had put a presentation that if you don't perform, you get sacked. And you saw 2 of your heads get sacked, and then I was coming in as the 3rd one. And you were so afraid to become a head in those days, and you said, no, it is not there. And later on, you got that feeling. So what is the early feeling, right? No offices, nothing, taking files home. I also remember your wife, preparing checks while you went to sleep for a couple of hours, and the startup which was there. So your experiences, Shashi, because today when you look at this company, it looked like such a magnificent, huge company. But there were times when, it was not such a huge, magnificent company as it was. We were all struggling to ensure that we would serve our customers well. So your experiences, Hari.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity, boss. Like when you and Sam were speaking, like I'm able to connect with every word and every sentence, every second. Be it the night calls you were referring to, or whatever the weight management Sam was referring to, everything. So, like I remember, though, like I worked for 12 years in New India, then I joined Bajaj Allianz. But in between, around 4 or 5 months, I worked for an IT company in Australia. It has a development set in India. So after seeing for 12 years a government PSU insurance company and a very sophisticated IT company of Australia, then suddenly I was like, obviously I was trying. I got a call to see the local regional manager at the Bajaj Allianz office. Okay, Bajaj Allianz is a German multinational, and the local regional manager is known to me for some time, though he belongs to Oriental, Mr. DK Mesra. So I thought, okay, let me. So I gave some excuse and moved from IT office to the first interview of Bajaj Allianz at Hyderabad. Trimly, like they were in suit and even the tie at the time, because that was the culture of the IT company. So that is how I walked into this 15 by 12 room. It is such a small room, 15 by 12 room, and one table and three chairs. And some people are standing, some people are taking notes, some people are calling. That was biggest shock for me. I thought like German multinational would be a better place for me to work from a government PSU insurance company, and I land up there and I realized this is what it is. Yeah, the rest is okay. I then went called to head office, and Kameshji and Swarajji, these are the two stalwarts who did my interview at head office. More or less, the experience was the same. I thought head office would be somewhat different. Again, I declared in the full suit. I went into the Bajaj Allianz G Plaza. At that time, it was known as G Plaza. So the ground floor was, if I remember correctly, ground floor was occupied by so I walk into that room, then I see so many tables, table after table, table after table, wires running around, people busy talking. I got shocked. Arey, yaar, am I doing the right thing to do this? I don't know. I got confused. Then I met Kameji. Kameji ke sath thoda sa baat hui. Then he was satisfied. Then he said, no, go and meet Swaraj. I बोला ठीक है. I went to Swaraj. Swaraj said, ये क्या एड्रेस है? मैंने बोला सर इंटरव्यू. देखा चलो let us go to the gas chamber. I don't know, world is new. Swaraj का जो gas chamber क्या है? So that is a place actually when you get into the office on the left side, you have a small enclosure. So we went there. So that was my little serious interview with Swaraji. It went on well, very, very engaging and very friendly. Swaraji being friendly at the time, it's difficult, but he was very friendly. So that was actually a moment for me to really, got impressed. And no, this is obviously they are starting up. So company is good company. Only when I came back and I have to enter into the two man sir, boss, I have forgotten one great thing on that day. He asked me, are you happy with this salary? He offered something. I said, okay, I'm happy. I said, absolutely fine, boss. Wait for half an hour. I would give you your appointment letter. I got an appointment letter immediately after the interview. He said, yeah, what's the problem? We will give you. That was a big shocker for me. Big surprise also. Because like, it used to take a lot of time and all that. So got an appointment letter. But the condition is that I should put immediately. Day after. Only 1 day time was given for whatever is the travel and other thing. The day after, I should be there at the office. So I went there with the appointment letter. The regional manager was happy. He said, okay, good. I'm looking for someone to help me out. Good that you have come. So I joined on the technical side. So I was called at that time manager technical. Thereafter, I think that was some sort of, 2 layers were brought in. Then I was made the AVP technical. So I was very comfortable, though I did the business part of it and the sales part of it in New India. So I thought, let me test the waters with the technical. So I thought, okay, good job. Let me see, underwriter is good. Then right from my seat, I have to fight for my seat. I have to create rules that the sales guys, maybe Muti would vote for that. we told the sales guys, you should not get into office before 6 or 7. If any discussions are to be there, you have those discussions outside across the road. We had a coffee shop at the restaurant at that time, Yatri Nivas, if I remember. So that was the place for the discussions between the sales guys, or if any technical issues are there. That is how we managed. But biggest surprise, a small room, and that too, it was being managed by someone else. That used to tell us, by you may be working for 6 days or 3 or working 7 days a week, but this facility works only for 5 days a week. So we incentivized that guy. We got the Saturday also added back. Then the issue is, this is supposed to close at 6 o'clock. Okay, you are taking care of me. I am fine up to 8 o'clock, but beyond 8, I won't allow. That's another challenge. Like, all the files and other things, that is what you refer to. Taking the help and assistance of my wife also. No systems to talk about. Like, just the beginning of the story, we used to get one policy number and manually enter the details and everything and get it printed and give it to the end customer. Well, it is so tough. Same thing, like all the claim files for the day, take it to after 8 o'clock, take it home, process that, come to an amount. Amounts you enter into the system, but the checks are to be written locally. So my handwriting was very pathetic. So my wife, luckily, her handwriting was good. She was part of the accounts also as a part when she was working. So I took full advantage of that. But at the end, see, a couple of things have come to. One is, though at the time 2001, startup culture, startup concept was not prevalent. So the biggest thing probably, what most of us were not expecting is this sort of a very hectic startup lifestyle. Yeah, we adopted, whoever could adopt, we continued, but otherwise it is then getting back to my technical function, I used to feel myself as the technical guy. I realized within a day, not more than a day, in 24 hours, I realized I'm not a technical guy. I have to wear any hat, whatever hat that comes in your way, depending on the circumstances, depending on whom you're talking to. Sometimes I am the sales guy, sometimes I'm the marketing guy, sometimes I'm the technical guy, underwriter, sometimes I'm the claims guy. I was visiting the body workshops of the dealers and trying to assess then and there, giving the everything, all hats you have to wear. Of course, like a couple of things are there. When I was working with you, the miserably failed experiments of us, I think I would include you and me, because Sam was referring to this issue of weight management. We tried hard. I hope you remember weight management techniques through Minerva coffee shop, through the lunch management. We never succeeded, and we ended up having more and more.
No, we always ordered idli first, and then we would look at each other. Abhi nahi hua, Shashi, nahi hua. Then dosa.
Oh, but you all remember our strategy sessions over Jalmuri, walking around in the evening, our office building. Like, there are so many memories. I think I would leave it there. Otherwise, this would go on, as you rightly said. While interacting with Sam, this can go on for any hours. So, but it was great experience.
A couple of strong memories with you, Saji. One is that getting the first power plant, Konasima, where we become leader. I remember you tell me that we will take co-insurance. I would say, "Kya, Shashi? We have a big company banna hai, leadership lena hai. Shashi, we will not take co-insurance. We have to take leadership. We have to be a big company, Shashi, and we will have the strength to do that." And I think for the first time in the history of the company, we went and wrote Konasima. Yes. That was a landmark. And as a retail, I think we captured market share like crazy in Hyderabad. We went to 20-25%. People when they're showing market share today, and they say they have over 10%. And they're over the market, and I don't feel like, but sometimes I'll tell them that we were at 25% once we bought it down to 10.
I remember Sam was also referring to the corporate business and the difficulties of breaking it. Totally agree with you. That was the turning point for us at Hyderabad, AP, obviously. After Konasima, after the power project, corporate started looking at Bajaj Allianz. Within private sector, Bajaj Allianz as the only capable company to get in. The rest was history. I think you know pretty well, with your strength, entire retail market we have conquered, and with the strength of the Konasima getting into this corporate. And once upon, I think we stood number two just after India in AP market. That was the proudest moment. I think we celebrated. Also,
issues every private company. And I remember after many years when I met Sandeep Bakshi, who is currently the MD of ICICI Bank, he would say, कि Tapan, बाकी सब market में we could take on, but in markets where you were there, it's impossible for us to know. It's still, that is great of him, no, to remember so many old stories and still talk about it. I move on to Aditya. Aditya, you had more interesting. Your motorcycle was not the full. Now you're a big man with big cars and all, but those days you had a motorcycle, and that was our office. You had everything in the motorcycle. I remember
Yes.
you were running the full office in your motorcycle. No, 2001. Your stories, Aditya. Let's hear something from you.
So thank you, boss, for the opportunity, and I think all of us cherish the moments that we lived in those days. So since we started motorcycle, I used to start my day from Janakpuri, which is in West Delhi. People who still live in Janakpuri, and we didn't have any office. Like we started with the Bajaj Autos, one small room, and we were 12 of us, and it could accommodate only six because it has only six chairs. So there was no chance, at least for 7 or 8 till December. So I joined in August. So till December we didn't have office. So there was no chance that you could sit in the office. So I used to start. I used from Janakpuri, and Janakpuri to Connaught Place. On the way, I used to attend one dealership and two agents, and from CP we used to have three or four of us. Prakash was of course there, and there were other colleagues also. We used to have tea maybe at 10:30 or 11 because we start. I used to start at 8:30 in the morning. By 10:30, I used to reach CP after meeting few people. Then going to Bagalink was in East Delhi. So those who are familiar with Delhi, they can say from West Delhi to East Delhi, then East Delhi, and then in the afternoon we used to have something at Defense Colony. There was one or two people where we used to meet, and after that Bikaji Kama Place had Harpreet Ford's corporate kind of outlet where you, because there was an office upstairs, we used to have lunch there. Okay, we will have lunch there. Then 4 o'clock there was Gautam Motor at Okhla phase 4. So those who understand Delhi, they can say because unless and until you reach there 4 o'clock, they used to make a check, because if you are not there, then they will give that check to somebody else. So 4 o'clock at Okhla, and then taking the entire round again Mayapuri at 5:30 at DD Motors. So that was the routine. If you calculate these long distance, I think in Delhi it could be between 125 to 150 kilometers almost every day. All these locations, all those people, meeting them and looking at them, 150 kilometers. Then suddenly we described we realized that nobody knows Bajaj Allianz. So we had the one pump sticker of Bajaj Allianz, that we care, and something like this. And then we didn't know what to do. Then on my jacket I used to put it while sitting on the motorcycle. Inside we used to go to dealerships and tell them to each dealer that I'll give you, say, pay you 100 rupees if you put these stickers to every car. So sometimes it used to happen. Because of that, they used to put it on all the cars which were not even insured by Bajaj Allianz. But we were happy that okay, at least our branding is going. People are knowing that there is a company called Bajaj Allianz and it has a because now I keep on telling this to most of the youngsters that at that point in time we had to sell what Bajaj is, what Allianz is. We had a particular script. Now you are lucky that wherever we go, people, even sometimes by practice, I also start this time also that I have come from Bajaj Allianz. We are 74 and 26% Allianz, and we are a big company. This blah blah blah. They say no, hold on. We do understand what Bajaj Allianz is. We know their service standards. Please let's talk about business and other things. So that was not the case initially. So we had to actually have our sweat and blood to make the brand happen, that so that people will have to will recognize that what Bajaj Allianz is. And I am happy after 20 years when we look back and see that the initial hard work had paid. Now we don't, and we had that dream only at that point in time, that one day people will recognize us by name, by brand in itself, that yes, somebody has come from Bajaj Allianz.
Yeah, it's a great journey, I think. No? And the funny part is, I was talking to Aditya a couple of days back, And something happened. I said, "Abhi teri umr kya hui? What's your age now, yaar? Why are you so upset about no?" Then he told me, "Do you know I have crossed 40?" I said, "Arey, to me you're still 20." I still remember you as a 20-year young boy running around motorcycle, no, doing business, being aggressive. Then he opened a branch on its own. Now, I do not know why people hesitate. I remember Aditya on his own asked for a branch. We had no branch. He set up a branch. Target was 6 crores. He said, "I will do 27 crores." Where do I see people like this nowadays? When I tell the target is 6 crores and they say, "No, I'll do 27 crores." Well, no, how many times? 4 times the target? No. That was the era, no, which is there. Coming to Murthy, I think with him, a lot of fond memories, when he was in Vizag. And he had kept a old broken down car to pick me up, whenever I reach Vizag, no. And I'd always tell him, "Murthy, why don't we get a new car? No, this car will collapse here with the two of us." And you drive like crazy. I don't know where all you take me across. No, it was like crazy you would drive, and I would be afraid. I'd hold the door. The door should not go off the car, before he reaches the client's place, no. Murthy, over to you for your experience, your memories, of your 20
Boss,
years
thank
journey.
you very much. In fact, not many people may be aware that when I joined at Hyderabad, me and Shashi more or less joined at the same time, and I joined as manager corporate marketing. And at that time, like what Shashi was saying, it started with Yatri Niwas because we didn't have a place for ourselves. Then, if Shashi remembers, it is Sachdev Chambers, which is what Shashi was referring, 10 into 10 square feet with a lot of restrictions. And the rule is that there were 2 chairs and 3 of us at least, at senior level, Mr. D.K. Raju, Shashi and myself, and only 2 of us can sit at any point of time. So then Shashi and D.K. put a rule that marketing guys should not come before 6 o'clock to the office.
They have
That's
always experienced marketing guys. I can look at just say put him marketing out sometime.
Then actually, if some customer wants to come to the office, and then like everywhere else, we used to do our best to avoid, getting him to the customer. And the best places we used to meet in Yatri Niwas. Then, of course, in 2002, I moved to Hyderabad and I started the Hyderabad office. And it was a different journey after I reached to Hyderabad. The initial days were, I remember, those days actually we used to be very cost conscious. If I had to go to Hyderabad or Rajahmundry, I used to plan, I leave at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, come back by 12 o'clock in the night.
Yes,
in fact, there were times when I go to Vijayawada, I used to stay in R&B guest house thinking that paying 1,000 rupees for a accommodation is a costly affair. And but it was a lot of legwork. That is where we build the distribution network, a lot of offices across, including the CSR concept. And in fact, I think I remember when in one of the Kakinada visits, when I was coming back at night, 12 o'clock, suddenly I slept off on the wheel. And when I woke up, I was on the right side of the road. So touchwood, nothing came in the opposite direction. It was those kind of, they were all sweet memories. I think it was a lot of hard work, but I think every moment of it, even when I look back, I think they're all moments that, I really cherish. And once you move to Hyderabad, of course, then it is a different game has started altogether. You brought a lot of aggression and, the corporate, what Shashi was referring, the entry into corporate. And in fact, I think that was never stopped, actually, that lineage, what Shashi could take it forward. And the territorial wars we used to get into in terms of the fight for geographies. I remember it was not only within Andhra, I used to fight with Bhagat in Hyderabad, Bangalore. So, but it was a lot of hard work, and we really, like what Aditya was saying, it was when I go to the customer, when we used to go to the customer, we had to run a reel of 15 minutes, start from Allianz, what is Bajaj, and it used to require a lot of convincing. I remember once I had to travel 10 kilometers to pick up a two-wheeler checkup, 400 rupees. Those kind of days. But really, I enjoyed a lot when I look back. I think, that was still the best period of my entire career. Lot of hard work, but I think, it was very, very pleasurable, and it was a wonderful journey.
Yeah, for you it was very enjoyable. Shashi didn't enjoy so much. Yeah, because and you slowly ask for that. If you give me this, I'll do so much. And me being the boss, I could not say no, because if somebody's asking, I'm going to say no, and I would say yes. And then Shashi would always scold me. What?
Yes.
Why give that to him? No, like, how will we do a target now? Now you're giving this to Murthy, But then Shashi made good. After he took over, he ensured he got all the territory back. It was like that.
Absolutely, boss. Nellore used to be the most controversial between Chennai and us. We got it.
Yes.
So
And another thing was, yeah, boss,
yeah, sorry.
sorry.
Carry on, Murthy, please.
No, I'm saying another thing was I was thinking that I was going to Hyderabad when I ultimately landed up in Delhi as the zone head for Delhi.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so
you
that
followed
was
me.
again, in fact, a lot of people, showed a lot of, pity and sympathy on Mary Murthy. What will you do, going to Delhi there? But thanks to you, I think that has given me a really, definitely, different perspective. And I was very happy after 4 years, when I left Delhi on a good note. That was some assignment. I really thank you, for, really giving, putting me in that assignment. In fact, probably I would not have felt myself as the suitable guy at that point of time. But I think for the confidence what you had on me, it had really given me a tremendous opportunity for me.
It was good fun, Murthy. I never forget. It was, I think, 2 or 3 in the night, Sashi. I just gone to sleep. Yeah. After all these many calls of customers, of claims and all, sorting it all out and figuring things out. And then I get a call from Murthy. And again, those days you pick up all call at 2:30 or 3 in the night. Murthy calling. I got very worried. What happened? I picked up the call. He's asking me, should I do covenant reconciliation or should I do business? I look at the time. I tell Murthy right now, I think you should sleep. Tomorrow I'll solve it for you. What you should do.
Yes, I remember, boss.
The
Yes.
date, most of us remember the date, boss. 28th Feb
2002.
2002, Laddaji ka initiative hai. Oh my God. For 2 days, we didn't sleep. At Hyderabad, also the same story. We started today morning, the reconciliation. It happened next day evening. Oh my God. Very,
But I think the proud moment is like all of you. You have continued with the company for so many years, did so many assignments. I think personally, I'm very proud of each one of you. I think I can go on and on, talking about all the great work that you've done to build the company to where it is as a formidable company, not only in India but in Asia, and in the world, recognized as the company which serves so many customers, has such kind of pride in doing so, and we are so happy, trying to redefine customer experience. So in your honor, we have planted some trees in Sundarpur, in your name. So this is it, for each one of you.
thank you.
Thank you. So you have this, in your honor for 20 years. And personally, very grateful to all three of you. You have been integral part of my career and my life, And I think it's more like a family. I have not stayed with my family for such a long time, be it my sisters or my parents, as much as I've stayed with the three of you so many years together and fought so many battles. So always a matter of very great fight. So no, thank you very much. Still a lot to fight,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Boss, thank you so much. Thanks for all the leadership. Thank you so much, boss. Thank you.
Okay, now I have Subhashis, Sudha, Sanjay, Saxena. Again, people very, very close to me. And their journey is very interesting. In fact, Sudha here, she joined even before Bajaj Allianz was created. She was part of the Allianz rep office, and I think if I remember, I think George or somebody was the chief representative for the Allianz rep office. So you have seen it all, Sudha, from an Allianz rep office to different tie-ups to be happening, then Bajaj Allianz getting created, then the movement here. So let's start from you, Sudha, your experiences of all this entire journey, before I move on to Subhashis and Sanjay.
Yes, sir. Good evening, and really thankful to you, sir, for having me here. But yes, it has been a very, very wonderful experience for me. Yes, I actually started, in 1997 when we Allianz had a rep office here. At the time, I had, as you rightly said, George Otto was, he was a South African, and he was the first boss of mine. And what I said, I have been appointed here. There's a company is not there's just a rep office. What do I do here? So he told me there's a lot of work. I was saying, what a rep office can do, what lot of work. They're saying, no, you will have to, we are starting the insurance business. So we will have to look at the product and policy wordings and everything. You will have to type all those things and we'll have to file it. So I was just saying, oh my God. Okay, so I have no insurance background, no insurance background at all. So I said, I have no clue about it. He said, no, don't worry. It will take time. You will learn. So we continued with that. It went on, 97, 98, 99. 99 was the time when, 99 end, I think Sam came in. That was, and there was Rishikesh Sheth, who was the next chief representative, and then after that, Sam came. And then, yes, then we continued. We had all the recruitment started, risk management team, underwriting team, technical team, all of them. That's how we started the business and the offices also. We were in an office in Maker Chamber 6 at the time. And just all of us in one office. Slowly we started growing, and we had to move into the hotel. The Trident Hotel. We were there for some time, and it was good fun. Every time we used to go to the lobby, enjoy those moments. It was real fun. After that, we came back. We got an announcement that Bajaj Allianz office is here, and it is at Prabhati. We all were really excited actually, but when we reached the Prabhati office, we had to actually work from the basement. The basement is the car parking of the Bajaj Allianz office now. So we all were working there. It was amazing moment. Yes, it is. We cannot forget. Every time there was a call, we used to come out of the basement to attend the calls. We can't call any of our clients there because yes, there's no network. You can't attend through the calls there. Yeah, so we started from that. Then we had, yes, obviously Sam, all three G's: Sam Ghosh, Kamesh Goyal, and Praveen Gupta at that time. So they were there, and then slowly the Bajaj office, which was there in Prabhadevi, actually it was a Bajaj showroom. So then we moved into the showroom, and that's how both Bajaj Allianz Life and General both started their operations there. It was a very good experience. I can say whenever Bajaj Allianz, at the time we had partitions, Life and General, and whenever Life used to sell a policy, they used to ring a bell. We used to say. So those moments are really remembered still, and we can't forget those. Yes, and then yeah, very soon we moved in, and it has been a very very good experience for us. Lot of learning. I can say I have grown with the company. I can say no doubt I've grown. I didn't have any insurance background. Now I can say I have some knowledge about insurance. I can say.
No, you handle all of big corporates now, Sudha. You handle so well. I think you're the one person I get praise from all the corporates that you handle for us, and they really So you have immense knowledge. Like, that's your humbleness to say you have gained some knowledge. That's very, very.
Yes, that is yes.
Yes, thank you. So from you, I want to Subhashis, in East in Calcutta. Again, this person, I remember him because every time I meet him, he'd ask for a new role. And I would say, okay, if you do this well, only then you get a new role. And he would do an amazing job, be it underwriting, be it sales, and hardcore technical guy when he joined us. I still remember him. Not changed much. I think just a bit of hair. I think that is the rest. The smile, the charm, still he has it. Subhashis, your journey in this 20 years, of seeing the company move up and know how it is. Now let's hear from you.
Thank you for this opportunity, to talk to you on this platform. It's all started in Calcutta, as you said, from Macmid building, and before Macmid building, we were actually operating from a place which was Nag's, noon, and there are hardly 3 chairs and 5-6 people of us. So we used to do, take this as she was explaining, that kind of sitting arrangement for there. And in Calcutta, I joined as a technical head for Calcutta, and suddenly that we had that MIDS tie-up that you and Sam was talking about. And I still remember that we used to have huge lot of calls from the claim customers because we didn't have any surveyor network, and suddenly the tie-up had come. I still remember those days when the first mobile I purchased when I joined Bajaj Allianz, this big a mobile, and then one call from customer, another from a landline, and Vishwatina walking down to me with another phone, another claim customer. That kind of multitasking had started in those days, but at the end of the day was in the evening, say around 9:30, we used to have Jhalmudi within a very close team in Macmillan building, and we used to enjoy the day. And at the end of the day, when I find that another 30-40 claim files are yet to be done, I used to carry in my cycle. I had a Hero Honda motorbike. I used to take it home, and again after dinner I used to work. So this is how it started. So since I was handling, I was technical. I was doing policies, taking the policy number from Excel sheet and then typing the policies. The same experience as Shashi was talking about. So from there, where we have reached today, it's been an amazing journey. To share with the audience about a couple of experience that we had together is that, when you came from Hyderabad to Calcutta visit, having, instead of lunch, you had omelette and bread toast on the streets. And you remember we went to Dalhousie in the office area where moving with the car is a challenge. So we decided to
Yeah.
have Jalmudi and then walk
Yeah.
around because Dalhousie is an area where we have PSU development office. And by the evening, you were, and both of us are completely sweating, completely wet. So this is how it all started, and learned a lot on the calls that we did together, which actually helped us. But the point that I want to mention is very personal to me. Bajaj Allianz is a baby where we have grown together in last 20 years. Even today, if somebody talks anything negative about Bajaj Allianz, it is like I feel take it personally, and I feel it's so bad. Why should somebody say anything negative about a company which I take the pride of starting from the beginning. That's an experience. So I give it to back, because time would be sufficient if you want you us to share all the experiences. It's been an
Yeah, so
amazing
much.
journey. Look forward.
Not only the journey of the company and the way he contributed from everything from technical to sales to different geographies, moving to Karnataka, then motor. I think you did amazing kind of roles, Subhashish. So very, very well done. And then, like you said, this company is what we all have created together, and it's our baby. I think that's a very well put word. I come to Sanjay. I think I remember Sanjay was the early claims head for Delhi. And those are like the claims was coming like files like a tsunami of claims. And I never saw his face move up from the claim files. But like, it was Sanjay and 200 feet of claim files around him. Sanjay, your experiences of Bajaj and 20 years that you have been here. You're on mute, Sanjay. To unmute yourself.
Is it?
Yeah, now
I'm
it's
audible,
better.
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for giving the opportunity, boss. Yeah, as Subhash explained, my first experience was when I joined Bajaj Allianz. I thought I was joining a MNC company, a very plush office would be there. So my first impression when I joined, I think it was a Bajaj Auto showroom. Small space was given to us, as Aditya also said. It was a 10 by 10 room, and we 12 people were accommodated in the single room. And I thought, where have I come, and where? I mean, what am I going to do with this? So basically, when we went for the calls, we went for few dealerships for tie-ups, and some of them told us that you don't have an office. How will you do business? So first thing we did was, after coming to office, was we pasted a small slip, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, and at the address below, and took the photograph and sent and went back to the dealership and said, "See, this is the address and this is the photograph. Now you can give rest assured, we will not go anywhere. We'll be here with you." So that is how we started our business, and then we moved to, if you remember, S65 office in Connaught Place. I don't know, it has a 5-foot roof. So we could not stand also. We had to just...
I could never stand straight in that office. Yes.
We had to crouch and we could not stand straight. And my nightmare began when we had started. We started with this Maruti tie-up, and when the claims started flowing in. And I had only Anukul Sagar with me as a service engineer, and every day and my number was given on the cover note. We didn't have a call center then. People assume that I am the call center and I will be attending the call 24 hours. And the night time also, till 2 or 3 a.m. I used to attend calls, then complete the calls. Early in the morning, 9 o'clock, I used to be in office, give the files to surveyors, attend the surveys. And Ankul used to attend the surveys in the evening, and Ankul used to bring the files. I used to process the files. By evening, night, I used to prepare the checks. And by next morning, I used to hand it over to the dealers and or the customers or whosoever were there. So this was my routine every day. And I told KG boss, Kamesh was there at the time, when will I give another person? I want another person. I'm not able to manage it. So Sanjay, till the time 20 claims come every day, you will not get another person. So fortunately, he gave me another resource, Naveen Tandon, when 10 claims per day used to come, and handling 10 claims per day on a daily basis was a nightmare. I remember very well one episode, boss, when you remember, there are thousands of files lying on the floor, and there was no system. I had a physical claim register. I used to write like I used to do in initial PSUs, claim number and details and detailing. One gentleman came and he said, "Sir, my claim is 3 months old and you not paid me. There's a theft claim." So Anukul was attending to him. So he said, he came to boss, I have checked everywhere. his file is not appearing anywhere. So मैंने कहा दोबारा check करो. He checked again and again and again. He was very embarrassed. मैंने कहा बोल दो कि probably his claim is not with us. बोल नहीं sir, I don't want to. I mean, like, he is very irate and I don't want to talk to him. Please attend to him. So I went to this gentleman. So he was very angry. He said, आप लोग ये हो वो हो, आप claim नहीं दे रहे हो. My claim is pending with you. So मैंने कहा just show me your policy. So he showed me his policy. His policy was with I think Royal Sundaram RSA. So I told him, boss, at least check where the policy is from. And then that was a fun thing. In fact, it was not a fun thing. On hindsight, I can say that it was a fun thing. But at that time, we were so actually into firefighting mode that we could not actually see do anything properly. So that was the starting point we had. Obviously, when people started coming in, the system started improving. The load went down considerably. And it was a fun moment. And if actually given a second choice, I would want to do that thing again. Definitely, yes. It was such a good thing. We went through hell, but it was very enjoyable.
Sanjay, you would be all angry at everybody. Now, yeah. But,
and I still remember one thing was when you and me went to Jaipur. I don't know.
The car. Yeah. So I had to go. I had to tour a lot, and Sanjay became the zonal head for technical. And he said, next time when you're going somewhere, I'll come with you. I said, okay, I plan to go to Jaipur. He said, okay, we'll go by car. I said, Sanjay, last thing I want to do is tire myself driving, because normally, for me, work starts like Subhash is saying, the moment I enter, till I sleep, and then I get up again. And food and all was on the street. Wherever I get food. So Sanjay, Sanjay said, no, I love driving. So you don't worry about driving. You sit comfortably. You get the car. I will drive and we'll go to Jaipur. I said, good. So Sanjay was in full mood. It's like picnic for me. So he took my car. And the car in midsummer got heated up. On the highway, it cocked off. All smoke coming out of it. There's one small tree with 3 leaves in that. Like 50 degrees centigrade. And I'm looking at Sanjay. Sanjay, this is the idea you had, bloody fellow. We could get it easily. What can I do? Your car, it has blown up. Now what can I do? Imagine the tree and 3 leaves is mine. You stand in the sun now because you deserve it. Sanjay opened the car. He's sitting on it. I called up the guys from Jaipur. They came with another car. And then we started working. And I was working continuously and it became night. Then Sanjay asked me, lunch we करते हम लोग कि नहीं करते tour में night.
We didn't have lunch, boss, and you were not willing to have a dinner also. And the whole time I didn't have any food.
So I was working continuously. I forgot that we have to have lunch or dinner. So just after that, I think it was 10 or 11 night. He comes to me and said, lunch भी करते हैं. Do we do lunch? It's already 11 the night now. I said, we didn't have food. He said, yeah. So okay. Let's go and have some food. I don't forget that, Sanjay. It was a good. It's very, very interesting, no? And I always remember that no tree, just one tree, I think 3 or 4 leaves were there. 50 degrees centigrade temperature. But Jaipur, and then you can imagine how hot it was on the highway. But thank you, Subhash, Sanjay, Sudha. I think you guys defined the company. I think very, very honored now that you have been with us for all these years and contributed in all the ways that you have and made this company to what it is today. In your honor, we planted trees in Sundarban, no? So Subhash, is for you, no? Sundarban is there, and thank you very much for your time and the amazing conversation that we had. No?
Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, boss. Thank you.
So Anukul, come in now. Sanjay mentioned your name as the first service engineer of the company, no? And then I have Prakash.
Yes, sir.
Deepak there should also be there, no? I think is he coming or maybe some signal issue? Yes, okay. Yes, Deepak is here. Good, okay. So I'll start with you, Anukul, because your name got mentioned in the previous conversation. You were the first engineer, auto engineer. I remember how we recruited auto engineers. So all these claims started coming in, no, and we had no clue how to manage it. And the tie-up had happened, and we are getting like hundreds of claims every day. And surveys were not able to cope with the expectation that we had of no. I say people told us that motor will be hugely loss-making. You guys will close down business. Other private companies not doing motor business. Then they were doing very small motor business, and we were doing the maximum amount of it. And there was huge hue and cry. And then we decided to recruit auto engineers, and said, okay, they are the ones who will be in-house surveyors and they'll be the service engineers. So again, the first that we did in the company. Anukul, you were among the first of that lot who joined us. So 20 years now, you're a big man today, handling our big relationships and big businesses. But those days when you joined, how was it for you and what was your experience?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Actually, I am very thankful to the company actually for giving this opportunity. I am very proud to be part of this company because this company has given to me everything. I started journey in August 11, 2001, and I can clearly that recall my first survey along with Sanjay sir itself. We surveyed a car, Maruti car in DD Motors, and that time DD Motors also denied for cashless. तो second day I have taken Sanjay sir again along with me. जो सर चलिए हमारे साथ तो DD मना कर रहा है. Then the DD Motors somehow they have managed and they given a condition. Give me condition for giving the check before that releasing the car. So we have prepared the check. Sanjay sir prepared the check at late night itself and got signed by accountant and Sanjay sir counter signed and given the check that next day morning. After that only car was released. And I am again proud that DD Motors is that the oldest partner as of now. Or they are actually very fan of that Bajaj Allianz also. Because after that, DD Motor never deny cashless. So that was the journey. And everyone told actually, now I joined in a Conduct Place office that was 10 by 10 room. And we shared 12, almost 12. There was Dipankar, Sanjay sir, Sumit sir, Atanush Mukherjee, and Aditya Prakash. So I think all of us shared that particular small room as our office. And after coming Tapan boss again to Delhi, and scenario become changed because he made us to make the joint visit with that that sales guy.
Yes, guys.
So earlier actually now we normally that was made mandate by Tapan sir. So every that sales guy visit but should we visit along with that claim guy to the dealer principal and sales personnel. Only then that company will believe on us. And actually now we have done this and we have proved this. And after that, there are so many support from our leaders and given so many opportunity. Being a technical guy, I have been given that opportunity for sales, geography as well as vertical, and I can clearly recall. So without even asking, Thamasa decided you have to go to that geography, that Guwahati, and I have shifted to Guwahati, and I think I enjoyed a lot and I learned a lot. For this opportunity, I am very thankful to all leaders, particularly Tapan boss. Thank you so much. Thank you all seniors.
No, thank you, Anukul. I remember you, the spirited boy, who would, and you never hesitated for any work. I think you start from morning till late night. I never saw you tired or never saw you, lose energy. You're always, up for the game and you to do whatever best you could do. No, thank you very much.
That is purely inspired by you only, sir. I never seen you, sir, as a tired. So that credit goes to you only, sir.
Thank you, Anukul. Prakash, over to you. I think you have been our champion performer, be it sales, be it understanding P&L, be it understanding business, looking at things very differently, challenging status quo, having the courage to speak what is right. Your experiences, Prakash, 20 years now, you have been there with us.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good afternoon, actually. Thank you for giving the opportunity. My camera is off because last 4 days I'm not well. I have not tested positive yet, but a lot of symptoms are there. So I'm trying to slightly there. So I think we have a lot of great memories working with this great company. And as Aditya shared with you earlier, that we have a lot of common memories because we were doing the same job. So in a different geographies of Delhi. So we have a lot of memories for that. And as Aditya mentioned that at 65 office downstairs, there was a tea shop and we used to start our everyday journey from that tea shop, having bread, pakora and tea. So I still remember, those all actually 4 of us, 2 of us are not there with us now. Ankur and other people are there. So one thing is there. And the secondly, sir, since we all joined from a non-insurance background, at that time, our CEO actually, Kamesh, used to say, if you're not from insurance, you can't sell insurance. So we, all of us, including Aditya and all of us, actually proved him wrong. After 2 years, non-insurance guys from actually sell better insurance than a domain guy. Why it is so? Because since we didn't have a background, sir, what we did is we started building distribution in the segment where people wanted to have some kind of job opportunity and they're not able to figure out what to do. And since we were also not having the background, so we went to a lot of people. We found that they have a good network and that can be utilized to build up an insurance business. And today I can proudly say that a lot of people, JK Motors, Akhil Jain, a lot of people who were not having any idea of the insurance ABCD, we taught them, and today they have become a big guys. So if today we talk to them, this gives us a lot of satisfaction that at least we have created this a lot of people and built up a good distribution base for the organization. Lastly, sir, what I'd like to say is that in the same S65 office, we have memories that we used to celebrate every business that we used to bring in. Even 20,000 rupees business, we used to have chai samosa party. Someday 1 lakh, then pizza used to come. Vijay Shukla was our Jedam, Atru was RM. So depending upon the business side, we used to celebrate as per the content. That culture in your leadership also last 7-8 years, we are able to preserve. And this is one of the basic reason why we are here today, the largest company starting from scratch. That still are most of the salespeople, they feel excited. They are passionate about their work. And premium, whether we are a 15,000 company and that time we are a 0 rupees company, still has same excitement towards the premium, same attraction. So that is the best part which actually differentiate us from the others in the industry. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
No, thank you, Prakash. I think I remember that the chai shop. No, I think a lot of my meetings also was held around that pakoda chai and that butter in the afternoons and the mornings. I think and all our early leaders will stand there and be there. No, thank you, Prakash, and all the hard work you guys did running around. And the point you mentioned that creating this employment for so many people, and today they are like millionaires and they're doing so well. No, I think it gives immense sort of satisfaction, Prakash. I think fantastic. I think from here I'll move on to Deepak. With Deepak, there are very interesting story. I think I remember when, as I said, Sam told me you can take one person per crore. So the first person I reached out, somebody had to do my technical work was Deepak. So I convinced Deepak to join me. He said yes, and then I said, okay, chalo, I've at least done one assignment. I've got a person selected for the next role. The next day, Deepak comes to me and said, I'll not join you. Then I said, what happened, Deepak? He says, simply, you don't have any office. You have no company brand. Nobody knows your company. And a lot of private companies come and go. They get closed down. I'm in a government job. Why should I leave a government job and join you, Tapan? And if I lose my job, can you guarantee me a job? Why should I join you? Then I said, that's a fair point, Deepak. Well, you can lose your job. On that, I have no guarantee. I didn't tell him that Sam had shown me that slide, that even my best friend can get sacked if he never performs. I didn't tell him that slide. So, but I cannot lie to him also that his job would be secure. If he didn't perform, then the CEO was saying that he'll sack. So I said, that's a fair point, Deepak. You will lose your job. But Deepak, how many years do you want your job to continue? He said, 3 years. If you guarantee me, Tapan, that my job would be there, I can join. Then I said, see, the company cannot guarantee you. Do you have faith in me? He said, yes, company I don't have faith in right now. In you, I have faith in. So I told Deepak, okay, Deepak, if you lose your job, for the remaining period of 3 years, I'll ensure that your salary I'll pay you. From where and what, I had no clue. But I thought, okay, from my own salary, I'll pay Deepak's salary if he loses his job because he was a good guy. And I thought, if I don't have a good, strong technical person, Deepak will do business. Then Deepak said yes. And you'll not believe, on the third year, I remember the date when it got over, I called up Deepak. I said, my promise is over, Deepak. Now you're on your own. If you lose a job, buddy, you lose your job. I'm not going to pay your salary anymore. With those words, Deepak, over to you. Your experiences, all 20 years. You unmute, Deepak. You unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I clearly remember that this conversation we had, that why should I join you? I clearly remember. But one thing, as Sanjay was telling, if we were on a joint sales call, I was mentally prepared कि यार आज का lunch तो गया. That was for sure. आज का lunch तो गया. Dinner मिलेगा तो बहुत बड़ी बात है. Lunch तो नहीं मिलने वाला. And that used to happen often. So one of the incidents that I remember very clearly was that once me and Tapan sir, we went for a joint call. It was a very big showroom in Kanpur. They were selling white goods. We told him about the company. We told him we are Bajaj. We have got Allianz. They are the biggest insurance company. Blah 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 blah. We do this. We do that. the guy said, okay, I will think of giving the business to you. When the meeting was over and we were coming out of that shop, one of his salesperson came to me and said, sir, आपसे एक काम है. मैंने कहा हम बताइए. Because sir, मेरे घर में एक बजाज की मिक्सी है, वो पिछले 3 दिन से खराब है. मैंने कंप्लेंट किया, अभी तक बजाज से कोई आया नहीं उसको ठीक करने के लिए. That was how the people perceived what Bajaj Allianz is. So that is the story. But now we are a big brand. We are a brand to reckon it in the market. We had I remember a 10 by 10 office, 3 tables, 5 people, just waiting for one people to just stand from his chair so that the other person can sit on that chair. That office of ours didn't have a window. We had one ceiling fan and an AC. And in Kanpur, the worst part was that there was a power cut from 12 to 16 hours in a day. And when the power cut would be there, we never knew it. So when there would be a power cut, generator, sometimes me and Tapan sir, we would also start the generator will start, only one fan will be there, no AC, nothing, no ventilation. And I remember when the office time was over, I used to take off my shirt and used to be in undershirt and settle the claim files. Because we had a tie-up with this, Hyundai Motors, and all the files of UP were coming to Kanpur. There was only one office in Kanpur, and I used to sit on the stack of files and used to settle the files. That was the day, that was the way we started the company. Then another incident was that on 31st of March 2002, we received a call from Ladda Sahab. I hope Tapan sir remembers it. It was around I think 6 p.m. We received a call from Ladda Sahab, and he told us that I want the accounts to be fully tallied and reconciled by tomorrow at 10 on my table. I am not accounting guy. We had one person named as Manish Srivastav. He was the IT guy who was punching the policies and collecting the cash. Then we had a runner who used to collect the premium from various dealers. And then we had Jagdish Singh Sidhu. I think people know, you people must be knowing him. He was our part-time accountant. He used to come at 7 in the evening and leave at 9. So when the phone came to Tapan sir told us that पता नहीं लड़ा साहब क्या समझते हैं अपने आप को, उनको लगता है कि हम कर नहीं सकते. We have to do it, and we have to have this reconciliation done and be at the table at 10 in the morning. So रात को 7 बजे Tapan sir, me, Jagjit, Manish, we all started the work. रात को 3 बज गया. We finally were able to do it.
तो डोसा याद है, खाना नहीं मिला.
सर वही आ रहा हूँ. 3 बजे जब काम खत्म हो गया, तब हमको ध्यान आया कि हमने तो कुछ खाया ही नहीं है यार, भूख लग रही है. So अब 3 बजे रात को at 3 in the night, what we will get? Just two shops after our office, there was a dosa shop. Tapan sir, I said to Tapan sir, कुछ तो मिलेगा नहीं, डोसा वाले को जगा के डोसा बनवा के खिलाओ, अब तो भूख लग रही है, अब और नहीं कुछ हो सकता. So at 3 in the night, Tapan sir went to the shop, he knocked on the shop, he made the people to prepare dosa, and at 4:30 we had dinner. That was the commitment at that time we had, and that was the commitment Tapan sir had. And one more thing I will tell of Tapan sir was that he used to go on lot of tours. Allahabad, which is around 200 kilometers away from Kanpur, he would go in the morning to Allahabad. At 5, he will call me, Deepak, कहाँ हो? Sir, office में हूँ. Deepak, मैं अभी 1 घंटे में आ रहा हूँ, ऑफिस से निकलना नहीं. बाद में मेरे को then I would come to know that he was calling from Allahabad only, and he had not even started. So I am in the office, and at 11, 11:30, 12, he used to come. Then we used to strategize what we to do next day. But one thing that was very clear, that at 9 in the morning, whether it was Tapan sir, whether it was me, whether it was Manish. At whatever time we used to leave the office, let it be 4, 5, 6, but at 9 we were not there in the office. That was the type of commitment we had. Thank you, Tapan sir. Thank you, Tapan sir, for guiding us. Thank you, Tapan sir, for inspiring us. Thanks a lot, sir.
No, Deepak, I think a lot of good memories. And the basic thing that we used to follow was that no policy which we have received till today will not go for tomorrow. We'll issue everything. No claim received will go for tomorrow. We used to have 100% issuance of policy, 100% claim settlement, same day. No, and we had no systems, no power. On candlelight, Deepak used to sit, sweating profusely, settling our claims. And the rule was that nobody could leave. So if any one person is working in the branch, when the entire work of the branch would get done, zero pendency, then we would leave for home. And next day we start fresh again. I think that was the rule. And wherever
I
we would
think.
go, sorry, you're saying something.
Yeah, I just remember the incident that when there was a zero pendency, then you remember we received a call from Kamesh sir when we were in a Kanpur club. We were having a party, and Kamesh sir said that Ludhiana, Jalandhar is having very bad claim pendency. Send Deepak out there and let us clear that. So I was there for a week and cleared the pendency of all the pending files in Ludhiana and Jalandhar. That was the thing that we did.
No, Deepak, I think a lot of great memories, a lot of hard work by each one of you in building the company to what it is today. But the good part, I'm happy, is that customer obsession, the desire to serve the customer to the fullest, is still alive, and that is what will keep the company going, as we keep this alive with us, and moving forward. So I would like to thank all of you for your intense contribution to the organization and 20 years that you have been with us, which is there. And in your honor, we have planted a tree in Sundarban for each one of you. So thank you, Anukul, Prakash, Deepak.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Now, coming back, you see, 20 years of Bajaj Generations company, and we started with some stories of how a startup is today. Today, we hear a lot of glamorized version of startups. This is a startup, that is a startup. What we don't realize is that even companies like ours, which we see today as magnificent companies with such amazing presence and about 11 crore customers, biggest distribution network in the country, formidable presence in terms of servicing customers, innovation, doing stuff which is there. Our business partner, our agents who joined us very early on, the way they were obsessed about customers from very beginning, when we had no systems, to the day today when everything is automated and we are using artificial intelligence, machine learning. I think their passion, their dedication, their love. I think I'll come back with another version where we'll get our distribution partners, the way they went ahead and did business service customers themselves, worked throughout the night to build this company to what it is today and take it to a magnificent step which is there. But this inherent desire of ours to make a difference to the customers, to make a difference to our people, to innovate, to keep on pushing forward, to be the entrepreneur that we have been, to be the entrepreneur that we shall always remain, to take the company the next 20 years, 40 years, 100 years, and Bajaj Allianz be one of the largest companies that the world has seen, be the company in which this passion, dedication of these people. We heard their stories day in, day out, no lunch, no dinner, not even bothering about what time it is, but being obsessed about customers, obsessed about building a company, working from garages, working from small places where no place to sit also, sitting on the floor, settling claim files. That is what has made the company to what it is today. A salute to all these people and all the great work and building the great institution. And thank you all for watching it. Thank you very much for being there. And next time in Tea and Tales, we have more stories for you. Join us then. Thank you. Thank you very much.